afternoon. I would ask for everybody here to make sure that their cell phone sounds are turned off. You are allowed to take pictures, but we prefer not to have the noise interrupt the ceremony. All rise. Hear ye, hear ye. The United States District Court for and within the District of Vermont is now open and ready for the transaction of business. The Honorable Colleen Brown presiding.
Good afternoon. I'd ask you to please remain standing while we have the 4th and to 6th graders singing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare that was bursting in air gave proof to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, just a star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you very much. Please be seated. And I understand Rick Perry is going to come up and, oh, sorry. Nice to meet you.
Thanks, everyone. On behalf of the faculty, staff, and students of the Grammar School, we extend a warm welcome to our grammar school families and friends, our guests from Stoneleigh Burnham, all of our state and federal representatives, including those from the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, the Honorable Colleen A. Brown, and especially to our new friends and soon-to-be fellow citizens from over 15 countries, and if you bear with me, I'd like to read them. Bhutan, Bosnia, Brazil, Canada, Cuba, France, Moldova, Nepal, Nigeria, Pakistan, Senegal, Sweden, United Kingdom, Vietnam, and Yemen. And to your families and friends, welcome. For today, we are acting as a federal courtroom. But every other day, we are the Grammar School, a school founded in 1960 with classes first held in a renovated barn of one of our two founding families, Dottie and Dick Richardson. The other founders were George and Kitty Shulman. Kitty, whose eldest son Peter, by the way, just finished his 3rd term as governor of Vermont, was herself an immigrant from the Netherlands after World War II. Her family, during the war, provided safe haven to many Jewish families seeking safe passage to the United States. Underscoring the importance of our own roles as global citizens and our place in a global community. Every year at the grammar school, we embed in our curricula issues of global significance. This year, our global education theme has been migration and immigration. This ceremony here at the grammar school came about as a culmination of our school's year-long inquiry. We are honored to host this important ceremony and so pleased that our little school, with humble beginnings, is now a part of your journey from your homelands of birth to the United States, your new homeland.
Thank you very much. I want to begin by welcoming you myself. I'm Colleen Brown. I serve as the U.S. bankruptcy judge for the District of Vermont, and it's a privilege and always a thrill to preside over these naturalization ceremonies. And I particularly enjoy having the naturalization ceremonies in schools because it brings all of the community to the new citizens and the new citizens to the community. And I think that's what really is most important about the naturalization in general. The federal courtrooms are beautiful, but it's a very different experience being part of the community as we go forward today. So I thank the Grammar School for making it available today. And I want to introduce some of our special guests. You probably all know Nick Perry, but I want to introduce him again as the head of school for the Grammar School. And David DeMack, he's the United States Marshal. We have Peter Siegel, who is directing the 4 through 6 choir. Thank you. Michael Paul, Field Office Director for U.S. Citizenship and Immigration. And Christopher Maynard, Supervisory Immigration Services Officer. There he is in the back. Sonia Lambert, Immigration Services. Awesome. Thank you. Catherine and William Donahue, who are here from the Vermont League of Women Voters. And Sarah Morse and Tanya Lilienthal, who are Daughters of the American Revolution, Brattleboro chapter. Welcome, all. And now I'd like to invite Sonia Lambert up for a presentation of the petitioners.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. It is my privilege to present to the court 20 applicants for naturalization from 15 countries. Each applicant has been examined by an officer of USCIS, and each applicant has been found to be eligible for naturalization. USCIS now comes before the court to move that all candidates be naturalized. Your Honor, there are also 5 applicants that have requested that a change of name be granted by the court. The service interposes no objections to this request. Thank you, Your Honor.
And that request for changes of names is granted. I would like to take a few minutes to congratulate those of you who are about to become new citizens. This is a very special day for you. Some of you may have traveled great distances, left behind familiar roots, and said difficult goodbyes in order to come to this country. I'm honored to be able to administer the oath of allegiance to you today and to be among the first to welcome you as a U.S. citizen. The oath you will take today requires you to absolutely and entirely renounce and abjure all allegiance and fidelity to any foreign prince, potentate, state, or sovereignty to which you were previously a subject or citizen. These words impose a significant responsibility upon you. Are you ready to withdraw loyalty to the government and the country you've left behind? And are you ready to recite the oath with both comprehension and assurance? If so, then indeed today is the day you should become a U.S. citizen. The oath makes clear what it is you are giving up and what duties you are undertaking in order to become a U.S. citizen. What I would therefore like to comment upon is the way in which your participation in our society will enrich the United States. It is by welcoming and integrating people from around the world that the United States has become the vibrant country it is today. The United States is a blending of cultures that commingle to become a new culture. What distinguishes us in particular is that we combine all of our many traditions and national attributes, but retain and are able to identify the flavor of each ingredient. That is why I believe the U.S. is more like a collage than a melting pot. Just as the collage retains the unique texture, color, shape, and size of each piece, the richness of the United States lies in its ability to be simultaneously a single country and also a collection of many distinct traditions, histories, and cultures. The magic of both the collage and this country is that when we put all of the pieces together, the whole is much more than the sum of its parts. One could not have a collage without the pieces being different. If they were all the same, it wouldn't be a collage. We cannot have the United States of America without its ethnic, social, religious, and cultural diversity. By becoming American citizens, you are helping to enrich the United States diversity. And for that, we are very grateful. Each of us is blessed with unique personalities, perspectives, strengths, and skills. We draw on these traits in each other to develop the best ideas and the best communities we can. We look forward to your sharing your gifts with us to help us become an even better and more multicultural society. As you may know if you have ever made a collage, the more varied the pieces are, the more difficult it is to get them to fit together. And sometimes it is very challenging to arrange the pieces in a way that is harmonious. Likewise, it is not always too easy to accept others who are different or those who do not agree with us. This country was formed, however, in large measure by people who did not feel accepted or free to speak their own mind in their own countries. They came here and founded a society governed by the principles inherent in the Declaration of Independence and the Bill of Rights. These principles guarantee that each of us has the freedom to speak our views without fear of prosecution, to worship in our own faith without fear of persecution, and to pursue our dreams without fear of repression. For each right we have, there is a corresponding and substantial responsibility. If you are to enjoy the rights of a U.S. citizen, you must also be ready, willing, and able to fulfill the duties that correspond to those rights. In order for these rights to have meaning, we must each respect and encourage every other American's exercise of these rights too. We must be able to tolerate and indeed appreciate views with which we may disagree vehemently. If we are to have our right to free expression, others must as well. This country's history also reflects examples of the tragedies that ensue when we do not conduct ourselves in a way that is consistent with the principles set forth in the Declaration of Independence and the Bill of Rights. The United States is not proud of how it treated Native Americans, or of the racial and ethnic hatred and discrimination that was tolerated and ignored in so many often insidious ways over the course of the first 200 years, or of the incidents of prisoner mistreatment at Abu Ghraib, or of what we have done to denigrate the natural splendor of the earth. But we do not hide what has happened. Rather, we have acknowledged these situations, and we are addressing them through open, public discourse. By living out democracy in this way, we can find appropriate ways to deal with wrongs and to learn from them. We continually strive as a country to carry out and improve our democratic process so we can grow wiser and stronger in the world. What I want to emphasize is that democracy breaks down when people abandon the process and leave it to a few to make decisions that affect all of us. Democracy is often slow, and it is sometimes a very frustrating way to make decisions. But it is the best way to make decisions. It is essential to who we are that the government operate on democratic principles, that it operate openly, and that we come to important decisions based upon input from all who wish to be heard. Thus, in order for democracy to work, everyone must participate. I invite and encourage you to participate, to become intentionally engaged in American culture. I urge you to develop and share your vision for this country with your neighbors. Teach them about your native dishes, show them your special ways of doing things, talk with them about your perspective on what's going on, and tell them the stories you grew up with. That is important and will enrich all of us and help us to build upon the diversity we need for this country to continue to flourish. It is through this kind of sharing and expansion of diversity that the United States will continue to evolve and enhance the spectacular collage we call United States culture. And in particular, I would like to welcome you to Vermont. In that regard, I share with you today the sentiments of the President of the United States, who comes from Vermont, President Calvin Coolidge. He said, "I love Vermont because of her hills and valleys, her scenery and invigorating climate. But most of all, I love her because of her indomitable people. They are a race of pioneers who almost impoverished themselves for love of others. If ever the spirit of liberty should vanish from the rest of the Union, it could be restored by the generous share held by the people in this brave little state of Vermont." I congratulate you on this milestone event in your life today and warmly welcome you. I now ask that the clerk call the roll so that I may administer the oath of allegiance.
Please stand when I call your name. A copy of the oath is on the front page of your program if that would assist you in following along. Kumba Ba, please stand. Avi Basic, Kalpana Himuri, Durga Gautam, Nitesh Gautam, Lena Hansen, Wesley McKee, Kai Pan, Olesia Ilyasova Pesca, Eva Raymond, William Rodriguez, Jamina Sakdev, Nada Shannon, Gopal Adhikari, Edith Smith, Samuel Susan, Patrita Timsina, Rashida Timsina, Prem Timsina, and Annie Tondu.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I hereby declare on oath that I absolutely and entirely renounce and abjure all allegiance and fidelity to any foreign prince, potentate, state, or sovereign, of whom or which I have heretofore been a subject or citizen. That I will support and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. That I will bear arms on behalf of the United States when required by the law. That I will perform a non-combatant service in the armed forces of the United States when required by the law. That I will perform work of national importance under civilian direction when required by the law.
Under civilian direction when required by the law.
And I take this obligation freely,
And I take this obligation freely,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
So help me God.
So help me God.
We'll call you up to meeting.
I ask that you please come forward when your name is called to receive your citizenship certificate. And if you can kind of make a loop, because the students from the grammar school also have some tokens of appreciation for you, as well as a letter from our governor of Vermont. Kumba Ba from Senegal. Abi Asib Basic from Bosnia Herzegovina. Kalpana Sharmi Emir from Nepal. Durga Gautam from Bhutan. Nitesh Gautam from Bhutan. Lena Kloff Hansen from Sweden. Wesley Lane McKee from Canada. Thai Thai Phan from Vietnam. Olesia Nikolai Ilyasova Peska from Moldova. Iba Tul Remin from Pakistan. William Armando Rodriguez from Cuba. Jamina Anil Sakdev from the United Kingdom. Khan. Edith Oluchi Smith from Nigeria. Samuel Isaias Susan from Brazil. Prakriti Timsina from Nepal. Prasida Timsini from Nepal. Prem Prasad Timsini from Nepal. Annie Simone Tondu from France.
Now we'd like to invite the 4th through 6th grade chorus back up, sing the power and the glory.
I'd like to invite William Rodriguez, who's going to play drums with us. I just want to quote the song before we sing it. There's we're only as rich as the poorest of the poor, only as free as a padlocked prison door, only as strong as our love for this land, only as tall as we stand. By Phil Oakes. Here's a land, here's a land.
Here is a land full of power and glory, beauty that words cannot recall. Come on and take a walk with me through this green and growing land. Walk through the meadows and the mountains and
this point, I would ask that everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led by our U.S. Marshal, David Smith.
Please join me. I pledge allegiance to the
Please be seated. I would like to follow up on the comments that have been made today about getting involved and let our new citizens know that there are representatives from the Vermont League of Women Voters here ready, willing, and able to sign you up to vote, and it's in the room that you first registered when you came into the building, so easy to find. And we'd like to thank the parents from the grammar school for making refreshments available for everyone after the ceremony. We will all be happy to enjoy them, I'm sure. And I'd like to have us all give a great big round of applause to our new citizens. And with that, court is adjourned. Have a good day. Thank you. Wow.